She's the only one who makes us proud. I stared at those words on my phone screen, my 30th birthday cupcake sitting untouched in front of me. She's the only one who makes us proud. My mum had written it under my sister Chloe's Instagram photo, a picture of her smiling at the airport, suitcase in hand, heading to Paris. A surprise trip gifted by my parents. The post was full of hearts and excitement. Underneath, dozens of comments from friends and family congratulating her. But not one message for me. My name is Emily, and that day, my 30th birthday, I sat alone in my small Richmond apartment, wondering how I'd become invisible to my own family. I work as a pharmaceutical sales rep, decent pay, nothing glamorous. I live alone, no boyfriend, no big celebrations. I'd hoped at least for a phone call, maybe a text. Instead, I got silence, and that Instagram post. I stared at my cupcake, its candle melting into the frosting. I refreshed the post again, as if maybe I'd misread it. But there it was, Mum's comment pinned right at the top. She's the only one who makes us proud. Chloe had always been the golden child. Perfect smile, perfect life, endless praise. I was the practical one, the responsible backup plan who never made waves. Growing up, she got the big bedroom, new clothes, private tutors. I got hand-me-downs and the same line every time. We're so proud of both of you. But actions spoke louder. They went to every one of Chloe's dance recitals, flowers in hand. They never came to the little art show where my photographs hung on display. When I was 16, I begged to take photography classes. Dad said it was a waste of money. Chloe wanted to dance. They wrote a check without blinking. That's just how it was. So, sitting at my table that birthday afternoon, I called my mom, still hoping maybe she'd remember. She answered on the fourth ring, voice rushed. "Oh, Emily, hi. I'm at the airport with your sister. Can I call you back?" "It's my birthday, Mom." A pause. The background echoed with boarding announcements. "Oh, right. Happy birthday, honey. We're about to board. I'll call later, okay?" She hung up before I could answer. I just stared at the phone. The silence was deafening. Later that night, I logged into our joint family account, the one I'd been sending money to for years. It started when Dad had health issues and bills piled up. I'd just landed my first job, and $500 a month felt like a way to help. Over 6 years, I'd sent $36,000. I never expected anything back, but I at least expected honesty. Scrolling through the account history, my stomach turned. A $4,000 charge to a travel agency, $1,500 to a boutique, then a $10,000 transfer to Chloe's account, memo, gift. My heart sank. They'd been using my money to spoil her. All those years, I skipped vacations, declined dinners with co-workers, lived off ramen, just so they could send Chloe to Paris. That night, I made a decision. I withdrew it, all of it. Slowly, over 3 days, I moved the $36,000 back into my own account. I told myself it wasn't stealing, it was mine to begin with. For a while, guilt ate at me. At night, I'd stare at the ceiling, wondering if I was overreacting. But then I'd remember that comment. She's the only one who makes us proud, and the guilt melted away. A few days later, Chloe called from Paris. "Oh my God, Emily! The city's amazing. Mum and Dad are being so generous. We went to the Louvre yesterday." "Sounds nice," I said flatly. "Are you okay?" "You sound weird. I'm fine. Just busy." "Well, I wanted to thank you. I know you've been helping Mum and Dad out. That's probably why they could do this for me." I almost laughed. "Don't worry about it," I said. "You're the best big sister ever." I hung up and threw my phone across the room. Chloe wasn't cruel. She was just blind. Our parents had built her world for her, and I had funded it. 2 weeks later, Dad called. "Emily, there's a problem." "Over $30,000 is missing from the account." "I know," I said quietly. "You know?" "I withdrew it. It's my money, Dad. I put it there. That money was for emergencies. We were counting on it. Like a trip to Paris. Silence then. That's different. Chloe needed a break. And I didn't. You're fine, Emily. You've always been fine, that was it. Years of pent-up anger poured out. I've been paying your bills for 6 years while you treat me like I don't exist. So yeah, I took my money back, and I'm not sorry. I hung up before he could answer. My hands shook, but it felt good, like I'd finally stood up for myself. Mum called that evening, voice sharp with outrage. How could you do this to us? We trusted you. You trusted me? You lied to me for years. We didn't lie. You're just making a big deal out of nothing. $36,000 isn't nothing, Mum. You used it to spoil Chloe. She's going through a lot right now. And I'm not. Then came the line that finally broke something inside me. Your father and I are disappointed in you. I laughed bitterly. Of course you are, because I'm always the disappointment. Then I hung up. No tears, just emptiness. I threw myself into something new, a medical billing certification course I'd found online. It cost $8,000, a fraction of what I'd taken back, but it felt like an investment in myself. For once, I was using my money for me. Evenings, I went to classes. Weekends, I studied at a cafe near my apartment. I met people who were rebuilding their lives, just like me. One woman, Patricia, a single mum, became a close friend. You're doing the right thing, she told me once. Investing in yourself is the smartest thing anyone can do. At work, my coworker Mia noticed the change. You seem lighter, she said. I took back something that was mine, I replied. You did the right thing, she said firmly. You can love your family without letting them walk all over you. Her words stuck. 3 weeks later, Chloe called again. What's going on? Mum and Dad are furious. I know. They said you stole from them. I didn't. It was my money, the money they used for your trip. She went quiet. I didn't know, she whispered. I know you didn't. I'm sorry. Just enjoy your life, Chloe. That's what you're good at. And I hung up. That night I looked in the mirror, messy hair, tired eyes, but a strength I hadn't seen before. I took a selfie, smiling for real this time, posted it with a simple caption, 30 and thriving. No tags, no family, just me. A month later, my mum emailed me. Emily, you owe us an explanation. Chloe's been crying every day since she found out. We raised you better than this. Please return the money and apologize so we can move forward as a family. I stared at the screen, shaking my head. They still didn't get it. I typed back, Mum, I don't owe you an apology or that money. I gave it believing you needed help. You used it to spoil Chloe. I'm done being your backup bank account. Don't contact me again unless you're ready to be honest. I hit send and didn't look back. Life started moving forward. 2 months into my course, my instructor pulled me aside. Emily, your work is outstanding. I'd like to recommend you for a position at VCU Health System. The pay is great and you'd be perfect for it. I was stunned. For the first time, someone saw my worth without me begging for it. That weekend, I got a letter slipped under my door. It was from Mum. Inside, a late birthday card and a $500 check. Sorry we missed your birthday, the note said. I tore it up. The interview came a week later. I wore a navy blazer, practiced my answers, and walked in with more confidence than I'd ever felt. When they offered $75,000 a year, I almost cried. I'd done it, all on my own. That night, Mia and I celebrated with wine. You deserve this, she said. Finally, something good, I smiled. Yeah, finally. Then, just as everything started to feel right again, an email popped up. Subject, emergency. It was from my mum. Emily, your father lost his job. We're in serious trouble. Please return the money. We could lose the house. For a moment, the old guilt tried to creep back in. But then I remembered all the times I'd begged for love, the years of silence, and the comment that started it all. She's the only one who makes us proud. I closed the email. I didn't reply. A few months later, I passed my certification exam. The hospital job came through, and I moved into a brighter apartment closer to work. My life wasn't glamorous, but it was mine, built on my own choices, my own effort. One evening, as I walked home, I saw the sunset washing the city in gold. I thought about my family, not with anger anymore, but with distance. For the first time, the word proud meant something different. It wasn't something I wanted from them anymore. It was something I finally felt for myself. Excellent, thank you. When I was younger, I used to think family meant unconditional love, no matter what. But growing up taught me that sometimes the people who share your blood can also be the ones who drain your soul. My name's Emily, and this story is about the moment I finally stopped letting guilt control my life. It started with a phone call from my mum one grey Tuesday morning. I was at work, trying to finish a report before my boss's meeting, when my phone started buzzing non-stop. I ignored it at first, but she kept calling, over and over. Something in me already knew it wasn't going to be good. When I finally answered, her voice was trembling, but not with sadness, more like panic mixed with manipulation. "Emily," she said, "your father and I need your help. It's an emergency." My stomach dropped. She said the bank was about to take their house unless they came up with $20,000 immediately. I froze. $20,000? I'd already given them $36,000 over the past 6 years, money I could barely afford. They always had reasons: medical bills, job loss, unexpected repairs. But every time I helped, the money disappeared, and a few weeks later they'd be posting photos from luxury vacations or giving expensive gifts to my sister Chloe. Chloe, the golden child, the one who could do no wrong. My mum's voice cracked through the phone again. "Emily, we're desperate. Please, you're the only one who can save us." I felt my chest tighten. I wanted to help, I always did. But a voice in the back of my head whispered, "Not again." That night, I called my best friend Mia. She was the only person who knew everything: how I'd been paying off my parents' debts for years, how Chloe lived rent-free in their house while I worked 2 jobs just to stay afloat. "Ash," Mia said, "you've got to stop rescuing them. They're using you. If it were an emergency, they wouldn't have blown through your last $10,000 on a cruise." She was right. Deep down, I knew it. But the guilt, it was like quicksand. My parents had raised me to believe that love meant sacrifice. And every time I tried to pull away, they reminded me of everything they'd done for me, how they'd given me life, how I owed them. I barely slept that night, replaying the conversation over and over. By morning, I decided to visit them in person. Maybe I could reason with them. When I got there, the house looked the same as always. Fresh flowers on the porch, a brand new SUV parked in the driveway. So much for being broke. Inside, Chloe was sitting on the couch, scrolling through her phone. "Hey, Ash," she said casually, not even looking up. "Mum said you'd come." I looked around and noticed shopping bags scattered everywhere. Designer clothes, jewelry boxes, electronics. My mum came out of the kitchen, tears already glistening in her eyes. "Emily, please sit down," she said. I did, and then she launched into the story again: the mortgage, the foreclosure, the terrible mistake that wasn't their fault. I listened quietly until she said the words I'd been dreading. "If we lose this house, it'll be your fault." That broke me. For years, I'd been the responsible one, the peacekeeper. But hearing her blame me for their mistakes, it snapped something inside. "My fault?" I said, my voice trembling. "I gave you $36,000, Mom. $36,000. You said you'd use it for emergencies, but you spent it on vacations and gifts for Chloe. How is this my fault?" My dad walked in just then, his face red with anger. "Don't you talk to your mother like that. We raised you. You wouldn't have anything if it weren't for us." I stood up. "You're right," I said. You raised me, and all you taught me was guilt. Chloe rolled her eyes. Wow, drama queen much. It's just money, I turned to her. Easy for you to say, you've never had to earn it. My mum gasped like I'd slapped her, but I didn't care anymore. I walked out the door shaking, tears stinging my eyes. In the car, I called Mia again. I think I'm done, I whispered. She didn't say anything for a moment, then finally replied, Good. It's about time over the next few weeks I ignored every call, every message. My mum left voicemails saying things like, We can't believe you'd abandon your family, and you'll regret this when we're homeless. The guilt still tried to claw its way back in, but this time I fought it. I threw myself into my work, volunteering for extra shifts, focusing on something other than their chaos. I worked as a nurse at the local hospital, and it was the only place I felt truly useful, where my kindness wasn't being exploited. One night, after a long shift, my supervisor called me into her office. Emily, she said, we've noticed how hard you've been working. We'd like to promote you to head nurse. I blinked in disbelief. Me? The girl who'd been drowning in guilt for years. I smiled for the first time in months. I accepted immediately. The extra income helped me finally start saving for myself instead of others. For the first time, I wasn't just surviving, I was living. Then, a few months later, something unexpected happened. I got a message from Chloe. Hey, it said, Mum and Dad need you. Dad's sick. My heart sank. Part of me wanted to delete it, pretend I never saw it. But another part, the part that still cared despite everything, needed to know. I drove to their house that weekend. When I walked in, everything felt smaller, quieter. My dad was in a hospital bed in the living room, oxygen tubes running to his nose. My mum looked exhausted, her face pale and lined. Chloe sat silently in the corner. For a moment, I just stood there, not sure what to feel. Then my mum started crying. I'm sorry, she said softly. We were wrong. About everything, I didn't know if she meant it, or if it was just another manipulation. But looking at her, really looking at her, I realized I didn't need an apology. I wasn't here for closure. I was here because I chose to be. I helped set up his medications, made sure his vitals were stable, and gave them instructions for his care. When I left, my mum hugged me tightly and whispered, Thank you. I drove home that night with tears streaming down my face, not because of sadness, but because for the first time I felt free. I hadn't helped them out of guilt. I'd helped because it was the right thing for me. I wasn't their scapegoat anymore. I was their daughter, but on my terms. A year passed, and I heard from Chloe again. Mum's selling the house, she said. She said she wants to move closer to you. I didn't know how to respond. I'd built a new life by then, got promoted again, moved into my own apartment, even started dating someone kind and stable. But hearing that, I realized something profound. People can change, but only if they want to. And even if they don't, you can still forgive them for your own peace.